residents, thanks for joining us again. Happy birthday, Westminster. Today is our 53rd anniversary. We started April 1st, 1967. Everybody should be getting a cupcake today to celebrate with them the 53 on the top of it. If you had lunch today, you would have gotten one already. If you have dinner, you'll get one this evening. Going to start with Danny doing a little bit of a demonstration on 1890. I know people are still having problems with the volume control or hearing it, so Danny's going to walk you through how to get the volume working correctly. Danny?
Good afternoon. Hello, Westminster. So I just had lunch. Is there anything in my teeth? That was my joke. So
that's a blessing of wearing a mask, right?
I
That's
guess
silver lining right there.
So there have been a few residents that have been having problems with volume on their TVs and watching channel 1890, and sometimes with other channels as well. So I would like to let y'all know. I would like to let you know how on the cable boxes that Westminster provides for you, we call these little boxes either cable boxes or DTAs. So this cable box has its own volume itself. So this is the remote control that goes to the cable box. And if you look at the remote control, on the bottom of the remote control, there are these green buttons. One of them says DTA, the other one says TV. You need to push the DTA button to actually control the cable box itself. So if you're having volume problems, to start out troubleshooting, you would make sure that the box is on, and to make sure the box is on, to turn it on, you would press DTA button, and that tells this remote that the next thing that you do with it, it is going to control the cable box. So if you push the green DTA button and then push the power button, it should turn your DTA cable box on and you should see a green light. The next time that you push buttons on the remote control, since you last pushed DTA, everything that you do will control the cable box. So you can press the channels up or down, but right now we're talking about the volumes. And so if you push the volume, you should be able to see on your TV a volume bar that would be controlling the DTA box. So here's what kind of gets a little bit confusing is your TV itself has its own volume. If your cable box remote control has been programmed to run your TV, you would then push your TV button, and then you're telling your remote control anything that you do beyond this point would control the TV. But a lot of folks do not have this, or it does not have the code to control your TV. So you would then, to adjust the volume on the TV itself, you would need to get the remote control for your TV. So on the remote control for the TV, it has a channel up or down, and you control channels with the DTA box, with the cable box. But for the volume on the TV, you would push the volume up or down, and you will see another volume bar or volume indicator on your TV. So with one or the other of these being down, you could have the other turned up all the way, but if the TV is turned down and your DTA remote control has had the volume turned up, if one or the other is down, you will have a decrease in your volume on your TV. So these are the two things to check to make sure that your volume is set. And then again, if you are still having issues with that, please have a work order put in, and we will do our best to come by as timely as we can. We have many work orders, but we're trying to get to them as quick as we can. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Danny. Appreciate that. I'm going to go through a couple things here and then have Robin do a demonstration on utilizing your mask. So yes, we did present with a positive case of COVID-19 with our associates. That is one person that has been isolated off-site. They're completely recovered at this point, but it's been limited to one person. And the limitation of contacts has been really great because we've implemented so many interventions. If you have not been contacted by a member of administration, then you have not been in contact with this individual. We can't give you any information on who that individual was, what department they worked in, what shift. Those are confidential things, and we can only tell you what we've told you. If you have not been contacted, you have not been in contact with the individual. And that individual is fully recovered at this point, but as a precaution, we're following the CDC guidelines on when they can return to work. Let's see, I know that was on the news, so you received a notice about it as well. If there's rumors of anybody else that's not true, you will receive a notice by me if something else presents. But for now, we have not had any more cases. So we have issued masks to all associates as a further precaution. That was done last week, even before we had a notification of a positive COVID. We have about 4,000 masks that were delivered this week. Each employee is getting a new mask every Wednesday. We are having to reuse the masks. We do not have enough supply to issue them daily and to follow the CDC's earlier recommendations that they've been thrown away after every use. We're all having a limited supply of masks that are approved to be used. That's a worldwide problem. We have gotten masks faster than most of our co-workers and co-establishments, other sister facilities and whatnot. So we feel very blessed to have the supply that we do. We have more coming in. They should be here this week, late this week, and then we also have another shipment coming in the following week. We've used all of our resources to get a hold of sanitizers and gloves and masks to make sure that we have enough to continue to provide good services. Let's see. I've been asked why not to the residents. We did not issue masks to the residents because it was not necessary. CDC did not recommend us wearing masks all the time. This is something that our management company recommended, and we have rolled out to the associates. The CDC is still not recommending that people wear masks unless they've been infected with the virus. We're doing this as a further precaution. And we had to make sure that we had enough supply to bring to our associates before we could consider anything else. We now have reached that point. We believe we have enough supply to roll out to the residents. So we'll be doing that Friday with your meal. You will receive a mask that you are to reuse. And Robin's going to walk us through the procedure on those masks. Robin?
Okay, so right now I do not have on a mask, and that's just so I can show you how to put on and take off your own mask. They will need to be worn when you're out in the community walking around Westminster just to keep yourself safe. So I'm going to show you how to do that. We are going to send instructions with the mask that you get on Friday, but you're going to want to wash your hands. I'm hand sanitizing, so make sure you rub that in until it's dry. And then we're going to give everybody a mask. And so the blue, it's got a blue side and a white side. The blue side is going to be out. The white side will be in towards your mouth. So you're going to take the loops and loop them around your ears, pinch at the nose, and pull under your chin. And then you can always hand sanitize again or wash your hands again. To take them off, you're going to wash your hands. You're going to retrieve your paper bag. You're going to all get a paper bag so you can keep your mask inside of that. You're going to pull the loops, take off your mask, gently fold it in half inside out, and put it in your paper bag. You can close your paper bag, and then you wash your hands again. So all those instructions are going to come with the mask that you get on Friday. Okay?
Yeah, can you show them how to take it out of the bag and put it on again?
So yes, so say now you're ready to go out in the community again and you want to put on your mask. So you're going to wash your hands, open your bag, retrieve your mask by the loops, unfold it. You're gonna put it over your nose, pinch it, and pull it under your chin. And then hand sanitize. Just keep hand sanitizing in between every time you put it on and take it off. To remove it, again, by the loops, fold it in half inside out, and then put in your paper bag. Close your paper bag and hand sanitize.
Why are we putting them in a paper bag?
We're putting it in a paper bag so we can reuse it. It gives it time for it to dry out, and so we can reduce the spread of germs, and it gives us just enough opportunity for it to dry so we can put it on again and wear it out into the community.
Great, thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
If you have any questions, just find me and I'll help you.
And you all that aren't on the camera can leave, and I can relax a little bit without my mask. All right, again, those masks are not typically meant for reuse. I wanted to go through that process though, and this is something we're trying to help with. The CDC is recommending that we can reuse masks as long as they don't become soiled. Ultimately, I'd like to make the mask last for about 7 days. That's the plan. The current supply that we have on campus will last us about 12 weeks. With the supplies coming in, we should be good for several months, but we should be conservative with our supplies and making sure that they last, because we don't know ultimately how long this COVID pandemic will last, and I'm just trying to conserve our resources. So I've escalated things which made sense to me, and following the CDC's instructions, and sometimes tightening down things and changing policies, adapting policies a little faster than what was recommended. But in some instances I saw it coming, and I had staff that were advising me that, hey, we should really take these precautions, and I don't regret that. I think that we did the right thing, and we continue to do the right thing. To give you an example of results so far, we've had 5 residents tested for COVID-19, and 4 have been negative. So we're still waiting on 1 test out for a resident, and so far no other residents have presented with signs or symptoms and needed to be tested. We had 1 employee tested, and that, of course, person was positive, but they're, like I said, they're fully recovered at this point, waiting to come back to work. We have tested another employee that had signs and symptoms. That person's self-isolating at home as well, but has not presented with a positive test yet, and may not. There are some stories in the news I want you to be aware of. Some of you may have seen those. One is that there was a rumor, I guess, a story that took place that they actually showed the front of Westminster, and they were talking about potential isolation sites located here in Austin, at least the potential for 1 or 2 COVID-19 isolation sites, and that people were going to be brought from nursing homes and retirement communities that had COVID-19 and brought to this isolation facility to stay. And Westminster was believed to be one of those isolation facilities. We are not a COVID-19 isolation facility. Number one, we don't have the capacity for that, nor do we have the desire for it too. We have very limited beds in our healthcare center. As everybody knows, our census is usually pretty high, and those beds that we have are reserved for our life care residents. Our life care residents, you residents, are our top priority, and we're here to take care of you. We have allowed the census in the healthcare center to drop off a little bit, so we have more empty beds than usual. We also located all of those empty beds on the same side of the building in the same wing, so that if we did develop any COVID-19 cases here, that we could isolate those residents in those rooms and treat them still and keep it from spreading throughout the community. So we have taken steps to isolate if needed, but at this point we don't have any need for that. And if that's in the news and you have family of concern, please address their concerns best you can. If you can't answer their questions, and send their questions to me, and I'm happy to talk to them. There's a rumor that residents that get COVID-19 won't be allowed to come back to Westminster. If they go to the hospital or something like that and they're identified with COVID-19, that we won't allow them back, and that is not the case. We're always here to serve our life care residents. We will always meet the needs of our life care residents, and Westminster residents are our number one priority, and we of course will allow you to come back, and we'll provide the best care you can possibly get anywhere. I honestly believe that. We do a great job, and we want to continue to do a great job for all of you. So just to speak a little bit to the isolation rooms, what we're allowing to do, what we're trying to do is we're trying to allocate a certain number of rooms in the healthcare center on the second floor on the east side, and on the south wing to allow for residents that might be life care residents, if they became sick, to allow them for a place to stay and while we treat them. We're working on that. We're also getting additional concentrators. We have additional supplies on hand just in case we get cases here. But so far, we've been very blessed and have been able to stay away from that. All of the residents that we've tested so far have been negative. But we're prepared if we get a positive result. The stay home, work safe order, everybody understands what that means. We really do need to stay home and stay home and not go to the grocery store, not go out in the public, only if it's a necessary trip. And when you're out in the public or in your common spaces, please maintain social distancing, sanitize your hands, wash your hands, stay at least 6 feet apart from other residents and other associates. There are iPads available for use for residents and families. If you want to reach out to your family and maybe have a Zoom meeting with them or FaceTime, or just talk to them over video chat, let us know, and we have some iPads that you can check out from my office. Just go to any reception desk or call reception, and we'll happily bring one to you and help you use it if we need to. If you need to look at my past question and answers or statements, or just get an update, you can go to the website. Your family can go to the website. The public can go to the website, the Westminster Austin, Texas. So westminsteraustintx.org, O-R-G. You can get the latest updates on the resident portal. You can get all of the Q&As that have been published by us. So the summary of my notes on these meetings are usually in that document, and they're posted right on the resident portal on our website. And then there's a COVID-19 flag on the website as well that you can check out, and your family can check out the latest information. Those of you, any of those people that are still working in our building, personal service providers, agency personnel, Westminster associates, of course, have work authorization letters because they're associated with Westminster, and Westminster is considered a healthcare entity. We've issued authorization letters to those folks. If you are an employer of a personal service provider, a healthcare provider, on a private basis, and you need to get a letter from Westminster, please let any receptionist know. Call the main desk and ask them for an authorization letter, and I'll happily get those for you. Just to keep our spirits up, we are having Spirit Days on Wednesdays every week, and on Fridays as usual. Today is Crazy Socks Day, which I am wearing crazy socks, as you can see. Next Wednesday is Favorite Sports Team Day. So I invite all of the residents and associates to participate in these Spirit Days. We're just trying to have a little fun while we're all locked in like this together, and just try to keep our spirits up. On Fridays, you can wear your favorite Westminster shirt and blue jeans, and you don't have to pay a donation for it. All of the associates can do that, and I really do want everybody to participate. Residents, I know a lot of you are in your apartments, but if you're able to participate and wear your crazy socks today or your sports team jersey next Wednesday, please do so. Let's see, I think that's about all I have today, but after this chat, Ruth is going to play a little historical video about Westminster. I think it lasts for about 8 minutes. It's a pretty neat story how Westminster started back in 1967. And I do want to read a poem that I found on the internet. I was looking for a little inspiration, and so I found this, and I thought this was a pretty good poem, and it kind of rings true, and hopefully we do learn a little bit from this whole experience. And it's called "When This Is Over." When this is over, may we never again take for granted a handshake with a stranger, full shelves at the store, conversations with neighbors, a crowded theater, Friday night out, the taste of communion, a routine checkup, the school rush each morning, coffee with a friend, the stadium roaring, each deep breath, a boring Tuesday, life itself. When this ends, may we find that we have become more like the people we wanted to be, we were called to be, we hope to be, and may we stay that way, better for each other because of the worst. So thank you all for joining me today. Stay healthy, stay well. Thank you very much. Happy birthday, Westminster.